Playoff bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs, the Sports Game Podcast Network, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with bombs. That's your promo code to claim your special pick and first time deposit. Claim up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code bombs. Also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale. 50% off everything in the SGPN merch store with promo code SGPN May. And now the song begins us to start the bomb show. It is the bottom line. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the bet detective, the laddie daddy, scumbagger Vance. The man in the box. All right. Let's throw a bomb in there too, huh? Before we get too quick into it. Welcome. It is Tuesday, May 28th. It's after a long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Now it's Tuesday for your listening ears on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Had a good long weekend. Good old-fashioned long holiday weekend here at the Bombs. Hope you had a good one. I don't care if you did. You don't care if I did, right? Bash. I mean, I don't wish you had a bad weekend, for crying out loud, but I'm just saying, you know, it won't affect me either way, really, to be honest with you, good or bad, no matter what you did. Mine was fine. Mine wasn't great. Didn't go anywhere. I did go to the track on Saturday. I'm really trying to old man this up. You know, they do a little thing for the kids. They put some Ferris wheels out in the infield while the mom and dad bet on some ponies. Barbecue fest. It was great. Whoa, what am I doing? I have the YouTube on. I need the StreamYard on. Here we are. But no, it was fine. It was good. I did not win. But what I did realize, I still have some tickets from Santa Anita in my money clip. I feel like every money clip should have some losing race tickets from the track on the cover, you know, to cover your bills and to remind you that cash is fickle, whatever. Anyway, as far as games go, last night the Boston-Indiana series came to a merciful ending with the Celtics sweeping the Pacers. We lost. The C-Generates lost. If you followed me on the over 5.5 games at plus 160, we really liked that play. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'd do it again. I would do it again because I wouldn't. Because the Celtics swept. That's the result. I love when people say that. I would do the same bet again. Nothing you could do. Well, you could change your bet. What are you talking about? If you're giving another opportunity, you could change your bet and then win. You could do that. But what you're trying to say is trust the process. And the Pacers, that was a tight sweep, as they say. They literally could be up 3-1 in this series. They had over a 90% win probability in all three of those 4 losses. Game 1, of course, they gave away. Game 3, they were up 18. But all that being up 18, that really means nothing in today's NBA. 20-point leads are absolutely nothing. But they didn't have Halliburton. That's what makes this Celtics sweep. I mean, I don't want to get piled on too much of how this is the worst sweep and easiest route ever to the finals for the Celtics, but come on. It was a cakewalk. And now if they play the Mavericks in the finals, they're what, a 5 seed? I mean, they're playing better than that, sure. But, I mean, that's kind of crazy, the combined seeds that they're going to play. Also had Pacers to ship the East 44-1 ticket that didn't have a chance once they lost that first game. With Tyrese Halliburton getting hurt, that's everything. Well, Porzingis was hurt for the Celtics. Yeah, he's like their fourth star. Third, I guess. I mean, you could make a case below Drew Holiday. Halliburton is the fucking Pacers. And they're throwing to Nesmith and Obi Toppin. Come on. It was a disgrace. But give it up for the Pacers. They played hard. They just couldn't. They whittled down the front. First, that was funny because that first game, the Celtics tried to choke. And they did. And the Pacers like, no. We'll do the choking around here, Boston. You save your choking for the finals. That's where you choke. We'll choke here. And they did. They choked away game 1. They choked away game 3. And they choked away game 4. And granted, the Celtics played good defense, I guess. Or fouling defense. That's the thing. A lot of foul that they don't call on the Celtics. Because it does seem like the league wanted to get them to the finals. Or at least ESPN, which has the rights to the finals and the Celtics series. And thank God that's over with. That whole ESPN coverage is just garbage. Garbage. I can't believe I just said garbage like I'm Mike Wilbon. Speaking of ESPN coverage. Trash. That's more like it. Trash. The pregame show's trash. Even the in-game. Why would anyone? Mike Breen is the only thing good there. So it's still amazing when they fired Van Gundy and Mark Jackson because maybe they'll become a coach and then Doc Rivers becomes a coach immediately. They're so dumb. I love watching all of ESPN's dumb decisions. And this pregame is even worse. They brought in Chris Paul. Everything TNT does, TNT brings in Draymond Green, someone who's fun to talk. He might be unprofessional, but whatever. And then ESPN says, we'll bring in a player too. They bring in Chris Paul, who no one likes, whose personality is awful. He's just a dick. No one wants to hear this. See, one time Stephen A. Smith asked what Chris Paul would ask to say to Karl-Anthony Towns or some shit like that. I don't know. And then Bob Myers interrupted with his own question. Stephen A. flipped out, like exasperated that his question didn't get answered. And then after Paul was done with his, he goes, "You must be in love with Bob Myers because he must have some kind of connection there because he just ignored my question." And like trying to make it funny, like, okay, Jesus Christ, get your ego out for half a fucking second. Again, I'm cursing for no reason. There was a lot of fouls. How about that foul of TJ McConnell, my guy, the Duquesne Duke? He goes flying in the air. Jaylen Brown just punches him in the face, basically. He goes down hard. And then they review it. Listen, even as the Pacers were winning last night, I'm like, they're not going to win this game. It just felt like there's just going to happen like the other game. The Celtics are going to win. I had no doubt about it. At least that's what I thought. And then once that Brown foul happened to McConnell, he goes down. The announcers are talking about if he's going to get ejected or not. Even the TV ref is like, oh, yeah, it's a flagrant foul. He might have been making a play for the ball, which I don't even think he was. He didn't wind up. They try to justify it. But, severity of it, he's in the air. In today's rules, that's easily a flagrant foul. It takes him 5 seconds to do the review, and they're like, yep, nope, common foul. Although the contact was unfortunate, we admit that. They said this over to the stadium. When have you ever heard that? The contact was unfortunate. Pacer fans, you're not going to like what I have to hear. This is some bad news coming your way. We hope you can handle this with dignity and respect. It was unfortunate, but we got a call from New York, and we need Boston to win this game. So that is a common foul. Unbelievable. Just a side out. That was anyone else. They might be someone in jail. Like, fuck, it's McConnell. He needs punch in the face anyway. But I also didn't mind at the same time. Like, back in the day, that would be a common foul. But I mean, it's not back in the day. But all these, that's what it was. Swallow the whistle. Let the players decide. Yeah, they're not. You're letting the refs decide by not calling egregious fouls. Cheating is not letting the players decide. Well, they let them police themselves then. But like we said, the Celtics They're in there, right? Can't take anything away from them, even though that we want to. No one likes these Celtics. No one's happy for them. Maybe I'm projecting. But you know what I mean? When they're like, oh, the Celtics, like when it came out, Tim Legler said that ESPN executives told him that, promote the Knicks because the Pacers aren't sexy. There's nothing to promote there. Meanwhile, the Celtics are considered sexy, and their celebrity status is Donnie Wahlberg. I got to watch a fucking Wahlberg from Wahlburgers go crazy on the road. Get this. What is this? They're horrible. Just not sexy enough. Tell me Jim Gaffigan's not sexy enough. The way the Pacers play is fun. I mean, obviously with Halliburton now it's not, but with that fully healthy Halliburton, they're much more fun than the fucking way the Knicks played. Although the Knicks, I will say, this entire NBA playoffs has been kind of a dud. The Knicks were the only thing exciting. You love them or hate them, and I hated them. But at least they were exciting. Anyway, as you know, let me sneak in. Let me just tell you real quick about the college baseball tournament that started. That was a selection. Everyone's got to be a selection Sunday. Like anyone knows anything about the fucking 64 college baseball teams going into bracket, going to Omaha. Actually, somebody does know, and his name is Noah Beanick. He's got you covered with the college baseball experience, daily picks episode, regional previews, and more. Plus, we're running a mega Memorial Day merch sale, 15% off everything in the merch store. Promo code SGPN May. Get yourself a Bet Detective shirt or a Man in the Box shirt, some Bottom Line Bombs, or any of the other shows, including a college baseball experience. Love Noah Beanick. He has got this college baseball market cornered, by the way. You should not be afraid to dive into that market. I'm gonna follow him. Anyway, that was yesterday's game, and welcome to the chat, DJ Ronnie Pasco, who says he watched Bill Walton documentaries yesterday. Much more entertaining. Listen, and on today's show, we are back. I'll detonate some bombs for tonight's NBA and NHL, tomorrow's NHL, and then I will get into the Bill Walton and even a little Angel Hernandez and a Man in the Box about something else down the road. Because Bill Walton was, of course, the huge story of him passing away at the age of 71, which I think is pretty good for a 7-foot fucking pothead with bad knees in the back. I've always said you shouldn't cheer for a death. I don't root for deaths, obviously. But when someone good dies, like Bill Walton was a great death because you're going to get a lot of good footage. And on a Sunday, oh my God, Well, it was Monday because it was a holiday, but it felt like a Sunday. That's the best. And especially when they have all these footage ready to go, rearing, Oh man, like when Johnny Carson died, he died on a Sunday. I'm like, oh, here we go. Sit back and watch the amazing footage and all the memories and the honorings, and that's just good television. I'm selfish that way. I don't root for your death, but if it comes at a decent time, a little out of nowhere, to be honest with you, Walton doing one of those secret battles. What's with all these people in their secret battles with cancer, by the way? Like I said, when I have cancer, C-Generates, you're going to know. It will be a loud war with cancer. It'll be a whiny, complaining war. When I go, people are going to be like, finally, did he finally go? I was sick of hearing about his dumb cancer. My God. Like he's the first guy to ever get cancer. Oh, I just want it to be some. Anyway, I'll talk about Walton a little bit. I don't only want to get into Walton right now because I owe him the respect of a full chunk. But let me do it real quick. Let me break down the bombs that are going into today. Then we'll get into, just because there's a game tonight. The other game, it might be a sweep. Minnesota, Dallas. Line's 1.5, minus 120 is the line. 211 is the total. Now, if Dallas wins tonight and sweeps Minnesota, which it looks kind of likely, then we'll have two sweeps in the conference finals and now a entire week off. I don't think the NBA Finals start till June 6th or something, like 10 days. That's bad. That's bad commissioning, if you ask me. You got to tell these refs to extend these games. If you're going to fix these games, fix it so there's more television, you idiots. Not. I know you want your teams to be in there for marketing, but like, come on, more games, the more money. Let's go. All right. So this series, I was told if you're watching me right now on YouTube, and I hope you are, come on over to the YouTube. You can get in the comments, in the chat room. Make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs YouTube. You'll notice I am not wearing my Timberwolves hat. For the first time during a Timberwolves game recently in the playoffs, I've taken off the T-Wolves hat. I had one that I got from Minnesota, from my friend, Animal America, Dan Battani. He lives in Minnesota, Timberwolves fan, recent Timberwolves fan. He told me to take it off. It's just not working. And I don't blame him. So maybe then I still have a futures ticket on them, 25-1, which I could get at a better price now, which is funny. Isn't that hilarious? I bet them to win the championship during the season 25-1. And I can get them now 5 games away from it at like 35-1. Anyway, it's not looking likely. They're looking young. They're looking tired. Karl Anthony Towns is hilarious. I'm starting to really love him. Karl Anthony Towns is playing these games like it's a summer pickup game. He could care less. He's fucking shooting like 13% from 3. Minute to go. 3-point game. Give me the ball. I'll crank it up. Whoa, Karl, what are you doing? I got it. Trust me, I got it. And he chucks the worst. I mean, his bricks aren't even close. They're right. They're long. They're over the backboard. Like a minute to go. Whatever. Let's go. We need a real good possession here. I got it. I got you, coach. Say less, Cat says. Say less. Solid possession. Hey, Karl, you're 7 feet tall. Won't you want to think about posting up maybe? Nah. I've been working on this shot. I shoot 1,500 a day. You do? Well, maybe that's the problem. You're probably exhausted. Anyway. They've been choking. And poor Rudy Gobert. I'm starting to really feel bad for Rudy Gobert. He is hated. People are just like, I can't believe I voted for him for Defensive Player of the Year. This fucking filthy Frenchman. He's horrible. He's not horrible. Yes, Luka Doncic shook him and hit the game-winning 3 in Game 2. But why is Rudy Gobert guarding Luka Doncic out on the 3-point line? That's not his fault. That's Chris Finch. Someone check the fucking pain pills that Chris Finch is on that they gave him for that leg injury he got last series when the player crushed into him, because he's been terrible. I don't even want to talk about Rick Carlisle. I'm going to get that series over with. He's been awful too. He was awful. I'm glad that's done with. But Finch, I mean, I don't understand any of these guys. What the hell they're doing. So what I was saying about Draymond Green on TNT, and then you got Timberwolves fans yelling, Draymond sucks. He's up there. Draymond goes, hey, it's not me, it sucks. Rudy sucks. He's yelling Rudy sucks on TNT. The open hatred people have for him is amazing. Did you see that play where they were going to pass the ball to Doncic? He's like, nah, just take Rudy. You got Rudy on you. Who cares? He stinks. And it's obviously because he's French. So it's hard for him to defend because when he talks, he has that fucking dumb French face look on his face. Because, I feel bad for him, though. I do. He can't even play defense versus Nikola Jokic. That's what they're saying. Wait, how can you versus Jokic? Who can? He's Nikola Jokic. He's a 3-time MVP. No one is guarding him one-on-one. Nobody. Not even Shaq. Those clips keep coming to my feed too. Shaq and Draymond, these old basketball players in their podcast, talking about how they would have beat everybody. Shaq, do you not remember your Lakers getting swept by the Pistons? Do you not remember that? Like they act like this shit didn't happen. Anyway. Ronnie Pasco says jump on the Seattle Mariners. Julio Rodriguez heating up. I'll get on some Mariner. A little early for Mariner talk, but they got a good pitching rotation. I'll get in there. Anyway, let's get into tonight's game. So I was told to take off the Timberwolves hat. Back to my Cracker Barrel. T-Wolves hat is off. I've seen enough, though. I really have. I think they're done. I backed them game 3. They played well. I do think they'll have a little pride, of course. They play better on the road. But I don't know. You would think the league was going to step in like we need to. And I think that if they win game 4, they do win game 5 at home. I do think that. And I think that'll be a great blowout. That'll be a great blowout situation. That's why I don't think Dallas wants to go back to Minnesota. They're getting a short number on this, minus 120. It's bomb Dallas. I will say Lively being out I do not like that, but Gafford, if you're looking at some props, I like his 7.5 over rebounds. I'll bomb that. And the one Timberwolf that's been great to me all series, Naz Reid. His prop started around 8.5, 9.5 first game. We hit that over. We hit a little ladder on him. We hit a little Naz Reid ladder. Then game 2 was at 10.5. That's when he went off and hit all those 3-pointers and almost won at the buzzer to win it. He hit that 10.5 by halftime. 6th man of the year. Free tattoos. How many people in Minnesota are trying to get their Naz Reid tattoos corrected? If you didn't know, Minnesota tattoo artists gave out free tattoos if you got the name Naz Reid tattooed on you, and a lot of people did because they're Midwesterners. They don't understand that that's what they're gonna do. What's a good suggestion to get your Naz Reid corrected to? Degenerates, if you're out there. I can't think of anything. Bosbeed? I don't know. Anyway, his total keeps going up and up and up, and now it's at 12.5, which is a lot, and I don't care. I think the way Karl-Anthony Towns is playing, you can't play him anymore. He's just terrible. The big purr, as Black Twitter calls him. He's awful. It's got to be all Naz Reid. He's the only one playing for you guys. Anthony Edwards was doing fine, but he's kind of ran out a little gas there. So Naz Reid, 12.5. I'm not worried about that either. Let's bomb that. And maybe a little ladder up to around 20 points. I mean, he's got an engine that doesn't stop. They're going to put it all out there. So we're going to take Dallas to finish it off. Naz Reid over 12.5, and Gafford over 7.5 rebounds. And then 2 weeks off for the fucking series, and we get Dallas, Boston. And what's going on with Mark Cuban, by the way? Did he sell this team or not? What is this deal? There's a big thing how he sold his team, but he still claimed, and he's still down there like he's the owner. Get out of there, Cuban. He's like someone who sells their house, and then he hangs out, comes by. Oh, I just want to see what you've done with the place, See, oh, you opened up the kitchen. Yeah, we didn't want to do that because good. Get the fuck out of here. You don't live here anymore. This is not your property. Remember that money we gave you? That's for you to go away. Feach Lamania, welcome back to the chat. He makes a good point. The Cat did declare himself the best shooting big man ever. Then he goes into Dirk Nowitzki's house, who is the best big shooting man ever, and shoots nothing but bricks all game long. I mean, it wasn't that he just kept shooting bricks, it's that he kept shooting because, shooters got to shoot. Hey, we kept telling him, hey, shooters just got to shoot. Not all the time, Cat. Sometimes they got to pass. Sometimes they got to fucking post up and be a 7-foot. The world's got enough shooters, Cat. You're 7 foot tall. Get down low and get to work. Anyway. That'll be over with tonight. I don't see how whatever. We'll see. This series actually has been better. This Minnesota Timberwolves series has been better than the Timberwolves Nuggets series, entertainment wise. Because all those games were blowouts, even though it went 7. This game, I mean, the Mavericks have only led for like 10 minutes. I think the whole series. They've all been close. But Luka and Kyrie are very clutch. The most clutch duo ever. God damn it. That's all they have to say. Is this the best backcourt ever? Is this the most clutch duo ever? Is this the most made up thing we thought of ever? Could be. Anyway, so those are my oh man, I went real long on that one. I gotta tell you about Underdog Fantasy first. Jeez Louise. That's the thing when you don't have a producer, when you're just a man in the box like myself over here. There's no one really to reel you in when you start going off on these tangents. Going off on a tangent is the man in the box telling you about Underdog Fantasy. The NBA playoffs are here. Sponsor Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. It's the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing your pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. Make entries of all basketball, mix, match, cross your favorite sports. Win up to 100 times your money. It's tons of fun. Underdog's available in 30 states, including California, Texas, and even Canada. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code BOMBS to claim your special pick and first-time deposit up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. All right, we are back. Now let me show you let me remove that, and we'll do it. We'll do an Underdog Fantasy together. That's what we do. I forgot I'd do that. Okay, let's put it up there on the screen. Boom! There we are. Right? We're not there. There we are. Okay. All right. What did I say? I can't just give you all that advice and then say not. Right? Okay. We need a special one. Should we do Kyrie Irving higher than 19.5? Why not? I mean, come on. Kyrie is 16-0 in closeout games. Something like that. I heard some stat like that. I could be wrong. Something crazy. He's pretty crazy in closeout games. Anyway, that can't be true. Something like that. I did hear that stat. That's a journalism you're getting with me. All right, what else we do? Karl Anthony Towns. They don't even let you go lower. Oh, there you go. 19.5 points. You lower than that. Should we fade Cat going lower, or should we just go higher Naz Reid? Let's just go higher Naz Reid. And let's go lower Karl Anthony Towns. He's just absolutely horrendous right now. Let's do it. That's 3-way. So it's Kyrie. I like this one. Kyrie Irving. All is right with Kyrie Irving now. We all love him. He bounced back from hating Jews in science. He bounced back from that. Now he's just a great guy. Naz Reid, just absolute terror. The only guy showing up for these Timberwolves. Karl Anthony and Cat Big Purr, who just keeps jacking up hilarious three balls like it's a summer league game. Not a care in the world. I love him. That pays 6-1. So let's put in a little shot like that. Bing, bink. 25 to win 150. And boom, we just did it. You just saw it. Nope. Now it's saying $15 entry. Oh, because I'm doing a special one. All right. 15 for 90. That's fine. I'll go back later. Empty account. All right, there it is. Kyrie Irving, Naz Reid, Karl Anthony Towns. Boom. All right. And we are back in the... Let me remove that. And we'll stop it. Boom. All right, there we are. Now we're back. All right. Welcome back, C-Generous. Here's some bonus. Before we get into the Walton and Angel Hernandez and the box. How about that Celtics Mavs price is already out for a series, even though the Mavs haven't got there yet, but it's minus 220 for the Celtics, plus 190 for Dallas. That's an attractive price for Dallas. It does feel like this is the Celtics' time to win, but also Celtics can choke at any time. So I might have to grab some Mavs plus $2 if that comes out. Anyway, let's talk some hockey. My Dallas had a big win last night. They play tomorrow, up 2-1 now in Edmonton. They're a big favorite now in the series. They are minus 245. Crazy. I have the future on them to win the cup. And then you have this Rangers Florida tonight. Now this one I love. Florida has to tie this series up. They're down 2-1. They lost another overtime game to the Rangers. These Rangers are undefeated in overtime. They're complete luck boxes. Florida outshot them by like 1,000 last game. Line's about 157 plus 140. Total's 5.5. The over finally hit that last game the way I thought the series was going to go. I'm going to do it again. We're going to go over 5.5 tonight, Florida Rangers. And I think Florida will be pretty much on a mission and ferocious. They are the better team. But these Rangers, I mean, the Rangers aren't bad. They're not like the Knicks, where they're just like, they just can't get rid of them. I mean, they are the President's Cup winner, but Florida is better. I'm going to play them in regulation, play the three-way line, minus 105, Florida. So that's two bombs. It's Florida in regulation, minus 105, over 5.5. Apologies. I remember last time I said, I think I said to take, I told him to take Florida game 3, I believe. Who had car problems? And he said, I need all my car money's going on my pick. And I gave him Florida and they lost. Kind of feel bad about that. But hey, like I said, these picks are for tobacco use only. A nice side wager if you want to make right now. Matt Tkachuk, who's the best player on Florida. He's at 12-1 to win the Conn Smythe, which is MVP for the entire hockey playoffs. If Florida wins the cup, which they very much can, especially if they tie it up right here 2-2. Tkachuk is the guy people want to vote for. And he's passed the team in points. 12-1. He'll become the storyline there, especially if these games start getting higher scoring and Bobrovsky's getting like he was last game. So I want to put a little sprinkle on Tkachuk, 12-1 to win the Conn Smythe. Get that now because that number will come down. Also like Florida in a series at plus 135. They're just a better team. You get plus money on that. Let's do it. Let's do plus money, 135, and I'll bomb that. That's all my hockey analysis gets into. Other than, let's go Dallas. I do not recommend a serious play on that. I think Dallas, Edmonton, game 4. You'd think Edmonton will tie it up. It's minus 130 tomorrow. But Dallas is the better team there too. And Edmonton just never has a goalie. And this is Canada's last shot. Oh my God, the viewing parties. Hockey loves their viewing party shots of the fans outside. I get it when it's like Edmonton, okay? For these Canadian cities or Winnipeg where there's nothing else going on. Edmonton, there's nothing much up there either except for the mall. They have a lot of money. They got oil money. But they get drunk. Yeah, I love Edmonton. Love the city. So those viewing parties I get. They can't fit in the stadium. There's 30,000 other ones getting hammered. It's the summer. It's finally warm out after a miserable winter up in Canada and Alberta. But now they're showing ones in New York. I don't want to see the New York viewing party. Get the fuck out of here. That seems so fake. Ranger fans outside. Where is this? Where's this property at? It's on Manhattan. I'll tell you that. No way would they allow this. I'm not buying it. Anyway. So, poor Canada. If they don't get their act together, it looks like another year where an American Southern team wins a Stanley Cup, and that tilts them so much. Oh, does Canada hate it when we keep winning cups? Because we don't care. We don't even know. Dallas doesn't know the rules of hockey, but they're going to win. Yeah, Edmonton. Too bad you guys can't win this thing. You guys started this screen. I just realized I have Hannibal Buress's fucking socials going underneath and not mine from the interview I did with him a week or so ago. I'm going to bring in more guests. I said I'm going to bring in more guests. I'm going to have to bring in more guests. Maybe Hockey Hannibal will come back for the cup. And I doubt it. I wouldn't want to ask him. I don't want to burn the candle with favors, you know. Burn the candle? What? Am I just saying things? Anyway. All right, those are my hockey bombs. We're going to go over tonight, 5.5, and Florida in regulation, -105. Dallas, Edmonton. I think Dallas might finish this off in 5 now. I think Dallas is starting to really feel it. You could tell a tide turned on that one.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Oh, man, that's a great segue into Bill Walton. He had a bad back. But first, let me do an ad read, and when we come back here, we will talk Bill Walton, talk some Angel Hernandez, and then we'll go inside of the box. But first, let me tell you about Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props, then you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Wait, do I have a thing for Rhythm? The rhythm of the night. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data, a team of data scientists, quants, that focus on fine-tuning the algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. Let me see if I do have it. No, I don't. I thought I've downloaded the thing, but I don't. Oh, well. Rhythm allows you to create your own NBA custom models. You get a AI-backed money line spread and total picks for every playoff game, from superstars to bench players. Finds the best player props. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm. Available wherever you get your apps. And we're back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the bet detective, the laddie daddy, scumbagger Vance, the man in the box, Bob in the box. Rhythm is a good little form. Rhythm was all over Nas Reed as well. I don't think they like him as much as 12.5 as I do, but whatever. And that's RITHMM, whatever. All right. And we are back. All right, let's talk some Bill Walton, right? Like I said earlier, shocking death. Not shocking. Shocking, we're like, oh, he had cancer. Okay, 71. A lot of great stories. Everything. I can't, there's not too many Bill Walton stories I can add. I mean, I will. Everyone seems to have great reactions to Bill Walton, and he became a deadhead. He was hilarious. It was just great that he was on TV. Yeah, he did a lot of Pac-12 and Pac stuff, and you just talk insane stuff. And everyone likes him as a good guy. Got a long, long career. Great college player, great NBA player, but a lot of injuries, a lot of back and knees,
Spinal.
that kind of stuff. He was a deadhead. He was an activist. One of those filthy hippies. But just amazing. We need more Bill Waltons. Tell you the Bill Walton I like though, that people don't talk about. You hear all the great stories of all these amazing stories, and well deserved. But I like that era, and he famously had a stutter that he was self-conscious about. Then he overcame it and became a broadcaster, which is pretty amazing. And he wrote that in a book. That's like his biggest accomplishment that he's most proud of, that he went from one end of the spectrum to the other. But when he was first a broadcaster, he was on that the NBC hoops, the John Tesh hoops, the song we all love. So it was Sunday. John Tesh crank. You had Ahmad Rashad doing some Inside the NBA show or whatever the hell it was. You had Sam Jones out there and Bill Walton. And Bill Walton was like the guy in the suit doing the announcer. He was your, he was your Van Gundy. Or now it's JJ Redick. It's how bad this ESPN crew is. Good Lord. But he was the main color guy for the Sunday NBA games on NBC. And he was a hater. He was the opposite of what he became when he, really embraces Grateful Dead shit and hippie and going out in the cosmos and all that and like just talking about some wild bullshit and being overly positive. He was the opposite of that. He was overly negative. He was like Billy Packer almost, but as an NBA player, like he's like if Shaq and these guys would be announcers now. They just hate on all these young players. He'd be killing Karl Anthony Towns. Darius. He also announced the Clipper games, and I loved it. I thought he was so funny because that's me, the man in the box. I love negativity if it's funny. You know what I mean? And just evil. Well, I guess I stray towards that. I'm the guy who as a kid was Darth Vader 2 years in a row for Halloween, and the only reason why I wasn't the third year in a row is because my mom wouldn't let me. My mom wouldn't let me be Darth Vader. So that's enough. He's an evil character. You're supposed to like the other side. What? Luke Skywalker's a pussy. Darth Vader's the man. And then that's how it turned out. So anyway, Bill Walton. So we used to laugh. We would be stoned, whatever, in college, whatever it was. Dating myself when he did that shit in or high school. One time, the Knicks were playing so-and-so. Who knows? Allen Houston, Chris Childs, New York Knicks. Allen Houston hit a shot. Announcer goes, "Oh, man, another shot by Allen Houston. Is there a more beautiful jump shot in the league? I ask you that. What's a more beautiful jump than Allen Houston?" And there's like 3 seconds of silence. Then you just hear Bill Walton goes, "Del Curry? Reggie Miller? I think Reggie Miller has a really good shot." And I was like, yeah, you're right, Bill, but that was kind of a rhetorical question. It's a basketball game. I'm just trying to trying to fucking pass the time here. Del Curry. This is, of course, before Seth Curry was on our radar. Del Curry was a 3-point specialist for Charlotte, but he was also like the 10th man on the bench. And Walton's tossing that out there. Okay, great. Darius Miles, learn how to play basketball. He said that once on a Clipper broadcast. He also did the All-Star game. I remember he did the All-Star game, and he was like, it was just offensive series. I'll never forget it. He just goes, "Would someone please pass the ball to Michael Jordan? Like, what are we doing here? Give the ball to Michael Jordan. It's what people want to see." Unbelievable. That's the little under the radar Bill Walton that I love. Now, I hate these NBA player Bill Waltons. Now you get stories of him, taking the Celtics to go see the Grateful Dead and all these amazing things.
The devil caught me there. Took my $20 bill and it vanished in the air.
Which I don't know if I believe all the stories. Jerry Garcia looked over at Larry Bird and said, "This is what we do." And then the crowd went crazy, and all of the Celtics are like, "Is this how it is all the time? We want to come back." And they never left. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Xavier McDaniel never missed a Grateful Dead show. And I'm all for lying to make the story better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Gotta turn that down because you too will come after me. But I will play that. That's my outro song after the TV credits. If you're listening to the podcast, a new thing I've been adding, C-Generates. to the audio version of the podcast, which you should be subscribed to, of course, on Spotify, iTunes, wherever the fuck you listen to it. Simple cast. After my theme song at the end, and I play a song, make a theme song, like a minute of it. That's not on YouTube. I can't do it on YouTube, or YouTube will shut it down. But I throw it on the end of the Spotify or something like that. Just a little treat, little Easter egg. And I'll put a little dead on there for Bill Walton today. Old sports talk, he's always have classic rock. Ridiculous. Anyway. R.I.P. Bill Walton. He was a real one. He was great. There needs to be more of him on TV. That's always another thing, too. You get all these tributes from ESPN, naturally, because everyone knew him. Or he knew everyone, you know. And then, like, they tell all these stories, which are great. They're great Bill Walton stories. But, like, some of them, like Mike Greenberg, are like, yeah, he did a segment. He goes, tell the producer, goes, tell them just tee me up and I'll take care of the rest. They can go take a break or something. And he talked for 15 minutes straight, just him. Can you believe it? Just him. And me and Mike Golick, well, yeah, because he's better at talking into a radio than you and Mike Golick. He's 100 times more entertaining than you, Greenie. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can. What's that say? That he should have had a show. How the fuck do you guys have a show? A popular show at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't want to be a hater. Don't want to be a hater, but no, I'm bringing up the old Walton hating. But that's the thing. So he was on ESPN. So you get all these ESPN, telling their stories, and most of their stories equal to like, yeah, you're dull, your personalities are terrible, and Bill Walton's was great, and he was fun. Bill Walton just went to where the fun is, or Van Pelt, yeah, right. He went to where the fun is. DJ Ron Pasco says, yes, in that Grateful Dead story, it is a good story. I'm not trying to shit on that. Bill Walton takes the Celtics to see the Grateful Dead. And they're, backstage, VIP, and whatever to the side. But Danny Ainge did not go. They all went to Larry Bird's house beforehand to pregame it. And Danny Ainge's wife would not let him go to the Dead concert. Sounds very on brand. I know. Sorry, Danny. I'm sure the Celtics did not put up a huge fight. That's a shame, Danny. You can't. Are you sure you can't come? Because Parrish lives right by you. We can have him pick you up. No, your wife says no to going to a Grateful Dead show with the 1986 Celtics. Okay. Fucking Mormon and brat. That's a good one too. Feach says he likes when his favorite Walton memories. I'm talking about Boris Diaw's game, reminding him of Beethoven Symphony No. 5. Woo, God, yeah. Bill Walton. Absolute living legend. Though not living anymore. All right. Before we get to the box, I wanted to talk about Angel Hernandez too. Got to talk about him. He tried to trump the Walton news late last night, announcing his retirement. Now, this is what I'm talking about, celebrating deaths. I didn't celebrate Bill Walton passing away, but I did know a lot of good was going to come out of it, like all these great Bill Walton stories and all the coverage of it and all the amazing things, So you're going to see, it's just going to be entertaining. Angel Hernandez, the worst umpire in baseball, retiring, that was universally celebrated. That was hilarious. Everyone on Twitter is just posting, well, since in honor of Angel Hernandez retiring, here's a thread of all the worst calls he's ever made and why he's a dipshit. He's just universally known as terrible at his job. So funny. There's a piece about him in The Athletic recently, Angel Hernandez, and how he doesn't like how people heckle his wife and kids about how terrible he is. And I get it. You don't want that. But it's also, they're just saying how bad you are. Imagine reading, that's the only reason why I retired. Because he could have kept doing this job forever. That's how strong this umpire union is. Like the top 3 working unions in the country. It's like the Teamsters, the Major League Baseball Players Union, and then number 3 is like the umpire union. Umpires get 6 weeks off of paid vacation during the season. And they already have fucking 4 months off of an off season. Why am I cursing? Anyway, Angel Hernandez, famously for just being a terrible ump, he once sued Major League Baseball for discrimination because they wouldn't let him do the World Series. They kept him out of that crew. I guess he said because he's Hispanic. And then Major League Baseball had to come out with a whole statement saying, no, it's not because he's Hispanic. We have plenty of minority umpires. It's because you're terrible at being an umpire. And we can't fire you because of your union. You're in this as long as the Pope, if you want. The Pope, that's a whole other story. What do you call? He called somebody the F word in Italian the other day. Jeez Louise, Pope. But that was just funny how Angel Hernandez is embraced. I mean, his retirement was so embraced. Like, thank God. And he basically got shoved out of social pressure. He hasn't called a game. It's effective immediately too. He hasn't called a game in a couple of weeks because that's how good this union is. He's been negotiating his retirement. So don't feel bad for Angel Hernandez. He will be booed his entire life. John Boy, who's huge on Twitter, he does the lip syncing of like anytime there's an argument between coaches and umpires and shit like that. Does a great job. He put a good thread together of all the Angel Hernandez back calls. And I forgot about the one with Bryce Harper last year when he was Angel Hernandez was umpiring third, and he went, he gave the old Harper check swing. Yeah, he went around, and Harper didn't go around. And Harper flips out. Fucking, he gets kicked out. Third inning, kicking out Bryce Harper. That's a good job, Hernandez. Kicks out Angel Hernandez, and then Bryce Harper tosses his helmet into the stands, and the kid gets it, and he's so happy. And John Boy's like, look at that. Look how happy this kid is. And he would not be that happy unless, without Angel Hernandez being that terrible of an umpire. His awful umpiring skills made this kid that happy, which is a good point. Ronnie Pasker says, seeing Robert Parrish at a Dead concert would have been legendary in a mind trip. I know. Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale. Just all these 7-foot Celtics in their skinny shorts and ties, their high shorts at a Dead show. Now you can see the Dead at the Sphere in Las Vegas with John Mayer. The Grateful Dead at the Sphere makes sense. U2 at the Sphere does not. I don't understand why you don't want to see U2. I mean, why? The Zoo TV tour? But you're right. Imagine DJ Ryan Pascal. Imagine being on acid and seeing Kevin McHale's shoulders. You're going to see something at the Dead show. That's for sure. I saw the Dead. Well, I don't want to go through my Dead days. But they used to come in, when they used to come in for weeks, like in Philly, they'd come in the Spectrum, and then I never tour. I'm never going to follow the Dead. But, hey, there was drinking and drugging. I was there. Anyway, let's get in the box. All right, see, generates, welcome to the box here and being on acid and microdosing your middle of the day microdose with sports combat comedy talk. Talking Bill Walton, talking Angel Hernandez, giving out bombs. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, Bottom Line Bombs. Also the podcast and Spotify, blah, 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 all that stuff. All that stuff. You know what it is. I don't really have anything else to plug. Just me. What else did I see during the weekend? I don't want to. I saw the Planet of the Apes movie over the holiday weekend. Actually, right before it. It's already too late to say it now. I saw a lot of that on X or Twitter. You had Bill Walton stories on Twitter. You had Angel Hernandez celebration. And then you also had another genre on Twitter this weekend of people yelling at us for not seeing movies in the theater. The latest one is the Furiosa, the Mad Max prequel. It didn't do well, I guess, this weekend, holiday weekend. And it's already called a Furiosa flop is the headline. And all these tweets are like, you fucking people, you don't support movie in the theaters. You're going to go see Deadpool, but you won't see this, a real movie. Stop blaming us. First of all, why is this movie already a bomb after 3? It's been in the theater for 3 days. I love that. If it's they give you the returns by Friday afternoon. Well, it's not making standards. Stop blaming me for not seeing these movies that no one's asking for. I don't want to. Why didn't you see this 12th Planet of the Apes? I can't even keep up. This Planet of the Apes, is this new Planet of the Apes? Are they rebooting the reboots now? I don't remember this from growing up on the Planet of the Apes week, which they used to do on Channel 17. Then you had the Wahlberg reboots and they turned into Francos and whatnots, and now there's a new one. I mean, they had to run out of them. What fucking world is this now? And I saw it, and it wasn't good. Anyway, they were, to be honest with you, they're a little too monkeyish. We're monkeying around. This one had monkey on monkey violence. I don't want that. I want monkey versus humans. That's it. You don't get the metaphor, man. It's about slavery. No, I got it. I got the metaphor. It's pretty obvious. I get it. Humans became slaves and the monkey. No, I got what they're going for. I got it the last 10 movies as well. Understood it perfectly. But I want to see cool action. This one, they're just like walking in the woods with fucking training birds and shit. Like, what is going on? So now we got yelled at for not seeing Mad Max. The prequel no one wants to see. No one asked for this thing. With the Queen's Gambit girl. First of all, we were just getting used to Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron, she's great. All right, now you got a prequel. Now we got fucking the Queen's Gambit. She weighs 85 pounds. I'm not saying she's bad, but she's got to be bad, right? She's just not a badass. Can we get a goddamn badass in there? Put Melissa McCarthy in there. I want someone that could fuck up some of these sand people. Not the Queen's Gambit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, stop blaming us. Movies are $40. You want to go and park in a movie theater, get some popcorn, get a soda in you? You're spending $40, $50 now for a movie. When I could watch something on my phone for 12 hours. That's the thing, too. People are like, well, movies are too long, which they are. They're too long for you to have no control of it. That's the problem. I'll watch something that's 8 hours if I have control of it. If I could stop and start it anytime I want. Like some YouTube video of why some fucking song sucks for 3 hours, I'm in. Whatever. Let it play. I'll even listen in the background. Who gives a shit? But if you're trapped in a movie theater, like, oh my God, why am I not at home? Where I could watch this in about a week and a half. And that's the problem. It's streaming. Streaming is killing movies. Don't tell me I'm not supporting these good movies that need to be seen in theater when I don't. Saw The Fall Guy the other day because it came on my TV for free. And all I could think of is, man, I am glad I did not see this in the theater. These movies suck. And actually, I kind of liked The Fall Guy for a bit. And then it got way too long. It got about 40 minutes too long. First hour and a half, solid. Solid Fall Guy. Like the sentiment, the humor, whatever. It was fine. Ryan Gosling, as my buddy Nick Vaderot says, is our world's greatest comedian. He used to be our best silent film star. Now he's our greatest comic. No one is funnier than Ryan Gosling. I hate when ugly people try to be funny. Keep it to the beautiful. Thank you very much. That being said, yeah, when I see movies at home, that's all I can think of is, I'm so glad I didn't see this in the theater. So stop yelling at us for not going. I mean, you know, you can't create a world where everyone's addicted to their phone and everything's home entertainment. And then screaming that we're not supporting the film. Fuck you. The theaters don't support us. How about that? How about that? All right. That is a late show for me. What else did? Oh, I want to give a shout out to the Blackout Diaries, another comedy movie, money, drinking storytelling show. It's a podcast. I do subscribe to that, but it's also a comedy show live last Sunday of the month, which I was this Sunday at Escondido. We had Jackie Cation. She was fucking hilarious, as she always is. Shout out to her. But yeah, other than that. Ronnie Pasco says, last movie he saw in a theater was Police Academy 4. That's amazing. That is incredible. Now, Police Academy 4, was that the last one of Gutenberg? Citizens on Patrol, I believe that one was. Cop. Yep, Gutenberg was Mahoney in there. Okay, good. Because I have a theory about the Police Academy and after 4. I've said this before, degenerates. Once it went to Police Academy 5, when they went to Miami, and Gutenberg was out of there, and then they made a fatal mistake. They brought in a new Mahoney from the outside, some fucking slapjack, some mop, some fucking face to be a Mahoney. Instead of hiring within, they should have, you know, promoted from within. Give it to Tackleberry or, you know, make a sound effect guy, Winslow, Bubba Smith. Who cares? Somebody, Sweet Chuck, somebody from within, promote from within. But no, they brought in an outside Mahoney, and you could tell there was tension in the ranks, and they were never the same, even when they went to Russia. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host. Thank you, everybody, including the beautiful comments and threads featured Lamani, Ronnie Pasco, everyone else who was along for the ride. Yeah, that's it. I'll be back Thursday. Quick turnaround. Good luck with the bombs. And now we will end the show with a theme song. And then, of course, a little Grateful Dead for the great Bill Walton. Never forget his hater days. Would someone please give the ball to Michael Jordan? Is there a better shot than Allen Houston? I ask you that. Del Curry.